returning to Berkeley.
Well, he's excited. You know, 100 wins as a coach in your career, that's a big accomplishment, but Dedrick Taylor also a veteran coach with a lot of wins under his belt.
Opening tip controlled by Cal, wearing the home whites. Navy blue for Cal State Fullerton. The Titans so far had a huge win against Cal Tech to open the season at Titan Gym. And then lost a heartbreaker, played really well at Wyoming on Saturday, losing to the Cowboys 92-82 as a three right off the bat from John Camden.
Not afraid to take that shot, and for good reason. He drains three-point shots. Great range for the big fella.
Leads Cal 6 made threes already on the season for Camden. Bailey Nunn, he's cut off. Here is De La Cruz Monegro at the top. He answers with a three for the Titans.
Well, that's a good sign for the Titans, for him to knock that shot down, no jitters, and come back and answer the three that Cal just knocked down.
He had 21 in the loss at Wyoming in Laramie on Saturday. Dai Dai Ames from deep, and both teams feeling it early.
You know, Roxy, I asked Mark Manson what's going to happen when his team finally starts knocking down threes, and looks like they're on their way tonight.
Back the other way quickly, the floater from Joshua Ward, the senior from Memphis.
Well, the Titans are showing you something by stepping up and answering every charge from the Cal Bears, but this is a good start by Cal. They've really stepped up and shot the ball.
Chris Bell rims out the three, and the rebound. Kendrick DeLuna, the lone returner for the Titans, and a turnover. Here comes Bell back the other way. Looks to attack. Dai Dai Ames, three.
We've talked about his ability to get to the basket, but don't go to sleep on his three-point capability. Just bottom.
3 threes for Cal. Here is DeLuna down low. Feeds the cutter and slashing in the lay-in from Joshua Ward.
Nice move. Great move to avoid the defense and slip into the basket.
Dai Dai Ames. Third three for Ames.
I think this heat is doing pretty well for both teams. They like shooting in this hot, humid climate in the Bay Area.
It is unseasonably warm, and it is warm inside Haas Pavilion tonight. And both teams responding. The roll wouldn't go for Davis White, an offensive rebound on the reload. Here is White again. Rattles out the three. Lee Dort the rebound. Cal looking to push it. The lob over the top, and the lay-in. John Camden and one as he is fouled.
How about the look from Lee Dort? This has been a staple for Cal Bears. Not much pressure on the pass, and Lee Dort finds John Camden, who gets the basket and the foul. Great high-low situation.
Already 14 points for Cal. We're not 3 minutes in.
No, but this is execution, Roxy. This is just really high-level execution from Cal. They're scoring from the perimeter. They're scoring on inside looks. And that's something, you know, Mark Manson said, look, I have a good shooting team. You wouldn't know it by our percentages. But he's really happy to see his team finally knock down some shots, which now opens up driving. Here's the 1-2-2 that they've really employed all year long. They've opened up and extended the floor.
Spinning in the lane, and left short by Jefferson De La Cruz Monegro. Cal the rebound. Ames with 9, Camden with 6. They've combined for the 15. Camden straight on, and too long on the three, and Dai Dai Ames can't get to it, out of bounds, and it belongs to Cal State Fullerton.
Well, again, you're talking about Cal that just hasn't really, there's been a lid on from the three-point line, but they've got guys that can shoot it. Their career three-point percentages will tell you otherwise, that they can knock down shots.
Cal's got 5 assists on their 5 made baskets so far. Slipping to the bucket, up and under. Nice move by Landon Seaman, a grad transfer from Menlo College.
Yeah, you mentioned assists, Roxy. That's significant. Why? Because last year, they only averaged 9 or 10 assists. So to get these assists early, and they've done it in both games, that's a big, big improvement for the Bears.
And you and I, through the first 2+ games now, as Dai Dai Ames hitting the pull-up, have talked about the movement of the basketball and the rhythm they're playing with offensively.
Now, they're playing with pace, there's no doubt. And Dedrick Taylor talked to us today at shoot-around about he's worried about the pace of Cal.
Landon Seaman, and the rebound, Chris Bell for the Golden Bears. Here is Bell inside to Dort. Nice drop off out of the double team, and the finish, John Camden.
Yeah, John Camden knows how to play without the basketball, and Lee Dort, a much improved passer from a year ago.
Ames and Camden have combined for all 19 now for Cal. As the Golden Bears are 7 of 9 for the field and 4 for 6 from 3. Tough fall-away shot, Jaden Henderson to miss, and here come the Bears again. Justin Pippen drives, splits the double team, and will get to the line. What an impressive offensive start from California so far tonight.
Great job. You can see the Bears, they're playing on high octane. They're getting to the basket, they're knocking down shots, they're distributing the basketball. The ball's not sticking. It's just Dai Dai Ames is on fire. He's been that way the first 2 games, and he's continuing. They only missed 2 shots, so the Bears on fire, but Dai Dai Ames has been a big part of that story.
Already 11 of Cal's 19. John Camden, by the way, has the other 8. As Justin Pippen to the line after the foul called on Landon Seaman of Cal State Fullerton. And Pippen misses the first. Justin Pippen has already now shot 17 free throws this season.
Well,
2+ games.
And I'm going to say he's a good free throw shooter, and I'm glad I didn't say it early because I'd have got blamed for that. But he can shoot free throws. I think he didn't miss a shot the last game from the line, but he's a good free throw shooter, and more importantly, knows how to get to the line. I think all of Cal's team, and we'll talk about that some more, has shown you their ability to get to the line.
Last season, Cal led the ACC in free throws made per game. Almost 18 a game. They were one of the top teams in the country, 11th in the country in free throws made per game. Here's a 3 from the corner, and that's too strong. Launched by Christian Williams, the freshman. And back the other way, Chris Bell off balance, and the rebound tip free and out of the pack. Here comes Bryce Cofield, a good-looking freshman for Cal State Fullerton. KJ Garris on the drive. Jaden Henderson missing a 3. Garris keeps it alive, and the Titans get a fresh 20. Launching is Christian Williams. And the rebound there is Justin Pippen. And Cal looking to run, but a foul prevents the breakout. It's on Christian Williams of Cal State Fullerton.
Well, Roxy, teams that like to play aggressively, you know, have to beware, because if you try to attack the glass either by the drive or the offensive glass, you know, Cal's going to run on you. Last year they didn't do that. This year they're pushing on makes and mades. And Dedrick Taylor talked about that in his staff today at shoot-around. They've got to get back in transition.
In Cal State Fullerton, Dedrick Taylor reimagining this group. They want to shoot a lot of threes, and we're seeing it early in this game. Half of their shots have come outside the arc.
Well, that's what they do. I mean, they've had a lot of success doing it. They're in a zone now. They're in a matchup zone.
Chris Bell missing on the baseline. Landon Seaman the rebound. And here comes Bryce Cofield. He had 21 against Wyoming on Saturday. Up and under, Cofield draws the foul. Comes from a very good high school program. He's a Southern California native. He went to Sierra Canyon, which has become one of the basketball powers in the state.
It's an outstanding program in California. So good pedigree. And if you're Dedrick Taylor, you know, he's got to be creative, Roxy. He's got to do a lot of things to get his program and get what Berkeley's here. You got to take, he told us today, hey, Division II players, getting some guys in under the radar. That's what he's done, and he's built his program.
One more for Bryce Cofield. All new ESPN app has arrived. It's all of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most and best live sports and a whole new way to experience ESPN. With over 47,000 live event studio shows and ESPN originals, plus brand new features, it's a sports fan stream. Check it out. And the multi-view and watch up to 4 games at once. The all-new ESPN app.
Yeah, they're trying to give pressure now to Dai Dai Ames to try to deny him a little bit, make him somebody else on Cal beat you.
From the corner, and it rips out for Nolan Dorsey. The rebound landed Seaman for the Titans. KJ Garris had a good look. Seaman the offensive rebound for the Titans. Bryce Cofield Here's a three, Christian Williams, he's not bashful. And the tip, it almost went in. Landon Seaman down there for Cal State Fullerton. Cal controls.
Now Mark Madsen say, all right, now let's settle down, let's get a good one. I think he wants to play fast, but he also wants to take advantage of some mismatches on the floor.
Dai Dai Ames, too strong, and the rebound run down by Rytis Petritis off the bench for the Bears. Here's Petritis launching a three. And the rebound grab by Jaden Henderson. Here comes Cal State Fullerton. Trail three, too strong from Landon Seaman. And Cal controls the rebound. So after the hot start, both teams have gone a little cold.
Well, I like Mark Madsen last time. He said, I push it. We set it up once, didn't get a good one. Push the ball, let's go back to what we did.
Cal's missed their last 5. The Titans have missed their last 7 for the field. And loose ball, knocked free. Landon Seaman dives, kept alive by Cal. Rytis Petritis capitalizes underneath.
Great look by Dai Dai Ames. What a find, too. Right to the rim.
And a whistle against Cal.
Yeah, look at the hustle play, but look at Dai Dai Ames. He saw Rytis Petritis just at the corner of his eye, didn't hesitate, got it to the rim. I mean, the assist total, Roxy, is just, it's amazing how much they've improved that from a year ago. There was games where Cal was in single digits in assists, a number of games.
Foul on Milos Ilic. Here is Jaden Henderson. Way off, and the rebound pulled down, Justin Pippen. Attacks, feeds a cutting Ilic, and he lost the handle, and Cal State Fullerton counters. Jaden Henderson, and the hustling Petritis knocked it away, right to KJ Garris for the Titans. Spinning in the lane, and the floater from Christian Williams.
That's a good move to keep things close here, but Cal really is doing well offensively. They love the pace. They're continuing to play with pace and fast breaks every opportunity.
Williams, a 3-time state champ in Missouri, the freshman. Kick out to Ilic, lines up a three, and it goes out of bounds. Didn't draw anything, and it goes to Cal State Fullerton. The Titans trying to hang in there.
They're doing their best, Roxy, but Cal's en fuego. Cal's got some points on the board because they've been pushing the ball, but the Titans are going to hang
Fullerton. But the trend with this series, look, this is only the 3rd meeting between the Bears and the Titans, but each of the previous 2 has gone to overtime. The last time they played was December of 2017. That was Wyking Jones' first season as the Cal head coach, and the Bears won 95-89. Darius McNeil had 30 points in that game, and a block is called on Rytis Petritis, with KJ Garris moving in for the Titans.
Well, I remember that game, to be frank, and you know, it's been exciting in this series. But you know, look at Cal now. They're finally cooling off, Roxy. They're shooting a tepid 50%, but they were at 77. So you know, the Fulton, they're going to do a good job defensively. They're going to iron this out. But Cal's got to do. They're falling in love with the three just a little much.
Rytis Petritis snatches the inbound pass. Red Callan steals a year ago. Justin Pippen launches. Free!
Well, you can't go underneath screens with these Cal guards and Cal shooters. They're too good. If you cheat the screen, they're gonna bury you.
5 threes for Cal. Deflected out, stays with the Titans.
Over half of Cal's shots have been threes. But watch Petritis, he just does this all the time. He finds a way, just really a big-time seal maker. And then you got Justin Pippen that knocks down the three with ease.
Joshua Ward, who leads the Titans with 4. Corner 3. And the rebound knocked free in the hands of Garris, tipping it. And the lay-in for Cal State Fullerton and Kendrick DeLuna.
Oh, heads-up play by Fullerton. Big-time play.
Knocked free, and a steal for the Titans, picked up by DeLuna. Here is De La Cruz Monegro, finds Garris in the corner, and the rebound pulled down by Nolan Dorsey. Titans just 1 for 10 from 3. Here's Pippen, and knocked away and diving for it, kept in bounds. Terrific hustle by Christian Williams for Cal State Fullerton.
Well, Fullerton's got some great hands, Roxy. They're getting their hands on a lot of balls.
And a travel on Kendrick DeLuna.
Well, that travel was called by Nolan Dorsey, who was playing outstanding defense. Dorsey is probably their best defender, but talk about defense. Watch Fullerton coming from the blind side. I mean, that's just tough to see. You don't see the defense, and they're coming there, and they're quick, so you got to really, the ball can't stick, and you can't dribble without having vision.
In their opener against Caltech, Cal State Fullerton had 13 steals. They had 37 assists in that game.
That's unheard of. I don't care who you're playing against.
Ripped down by Davis White. Here comes Cal State Fullerton pushing, attacking. Tough fall away, missed by Jefferson De La Cruz Monegro.
He was trying to draw the foul, didn't get it.
Right back, Justin Pippen for Cal, gets to the bucket. Had a good look, missed the layup, then he fouls Joshua Ward.
Oh, he can't believe he left that one short. He did everything on that move. Saw the gates open, got to the rim, and just left it short. And Justin Pippen could do that. He got fouled, actually. Didn't get the foul call, but then just as he got to the basket, just relaxed, kind of broad jumped instead of high jumping. Always tell players, you get to the basket, high jump, don't broad jump, and he kind of came up short.
Cal a little bit short-handed in the backcourt again. No DeJuan Campbell, missing his 3rd straight game to start the year. And dealing with a groin issue, he's day-to-day, as is T.T. Carr, who was injured in the opener against Bakersfield.
Well, Cal's really extending their defense. They're pushing Fullerton way out on the floor.
Tough fall away on the baseline by Jaden Henderson.
I don't know if you can play defense any better than Cal did until the end of the shot clock. That's just a tough shot, Roxy.
25-16 California. 8:20 to go in the half. John Camden launches. 3! He's got 11. Ames with 11. The lead is 12.
Well, I love John Camden. He just releases the ball the same way every time. We'll talk about that later, but he works at that.
Jaden Henderson to the bucket, and he blew the layup. Ritas Petritis the rebound. Dai Dai Ames pushes. 2-on-3, attacks anyways, and lost the handle right to Joshua Ward. Here come the Titans countering. Jaden Henderson fumbles it away. Ripped back by Henderson for Cal State Fullerton. Here is Seaman down low with a jump hook by Landon Seaman.
I love that move inside. He just took close position. Thorpe was behind, and he scored it. Look at the Titans just hanging in, Roxy. I mean, Cal was on fire early, but the Tigers doing a good job staying tight, tough.
Seaman was a first-team All-League performer at Menlo, and now raising up a level to D1 is Ritas Petritis with the layup. Up and under. Too strong from Jefferson De La Cruz Monegro. Ames weaves his way in. A floater high off the window, too strong for Petritis. Running is Joshua Ward. To the basket, Ward leans in and lays it in.
Yeah, good looking basket there, obviously. Ward, Joshua Ward, big lay-in, veteran.
Last year played at Palm Beach Atlantic College, where he led the Sailfish. Did you know that was their nickname?
No, but I know that he can play. I can tell you that. The senior from Memphis showed you something on that last play.
John Camden launching. Too strong, Lee Dort on the weak side. And a foul and a push on Dort, going for the offensive rebound, his first.
That's a good call, but meanwhile, what's going on? Fullerton back in this game. They're giving you the step back. They can really knock that shot down, and not to be outdone, they're in transition. Joshua Ward, staff the other night, Roxy, and the other day during the day at practice, and they thought that trip did them some good to go out to France and come back with some experience under their belt, help their team grow.
They've got a tough Vanderbilt team over there as Landon Seaman cuts to the basket.
That's twice.
He has 6 off the bench.
That's twice he's just gotten loose at the basket. Good find, good play coming out of the timeout.
Justin Pippen finds John Camden. Too strong on the 3, and the rebound pulled down. Joshua Ward for the Titans. Seaman launches and didn't draw iron. Here come the Bears back the other way. Dai Dai Ames drives. Chris Bell moves in. And has the height advantage and took advantage of it over the much smaller Bailey Nunn.
Well, I like that, Roxy. Just taking what the defense gives you. That was there.
First points for Chris Bell, the Syracuse transfer. And that's an offensive foul. Bryce Cofield called for his first, the freshman, with a turnover.
Now, he knew it, too. Great position by Dai Dai Ames, but let's look at the find here. Let's look at Bell. Gets his man up in the air. He knows he's got a height advantage. Gets into better territory and scores. But look at the score. Look at the charge on the other end. You know, you got to hold your ground, and it's just a lean in.
They're going to look at it to see if it warrants an upgrade to the common foul. Tommy Morrissey is our lead official, working with Trace Dyens and Michael Kitts here tonight. And the ruling on the floor was a common offensive foul on Bryce Cofield of Cal State Fullerton.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he led with his body, kind of incidental contact. I don't think he led with the elbow or through the elbow. It's just going up for his shot. Not sure they're going to upgrade this, but I'm sitting over there, and they're sitting over there at the monitor.
Yes, there was contact with the elbow to the chin of Ames, but that was a basketball play. It wasn't an orthodox play. He was making the swipe through as he was squaring up to the basket, and his elbow made contact with Ames.
Yeah, and you could argue that Dai Dai Ames was in the cylinder a little bit too. So you know, I personally think it's a play on, but you know, they're trying to eliminate blows to the head, whether intentional, directed, or not. So they have to look at it. I just didn't see it. You know, I just didn't see it.
Here's one more look at it. But it's clearly a basketball play by Cofield. He wasn't swinging with intent.
No, but he didn't go up for a shot either. So he was trying to clear space. So we'll see. I mean, it was not in the act of shooting. It was actually on the floor where he swung his elbow. So the officials could be discussing that. If you're taking it up to score, that's one thing. If you're clearing space out, that's another. And that's very well could be the topic of discussion.
They're discussing the potential of upgrading it to a flagrant 1. And they did go to the monitor. That is under the jurisdiction of the officiating crew. That is not challenged by Mark Madsen, which we've talked about it already this year. And if you watched any college basketball, the new rules implemented a lot like the NBA where you get the challenge. This is not a challenge. This is an officiating crew initiated review.
Yeah, there's a difference. But there's 3, so there's not going to be any ties. They got to break it here.
The call on the floor has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. Cal will get 2 shots and the basketball.
So it has been upgraded.
Yeah, I think it does come back down to that. I think, Roxy, because it wasn't in the act of shooting and that he cleared some space here. He never went up for a shot, but he just cleared space. There was contact there. I think the
flagrant 1 means 2 shots for Ames, and Cal will have possession.
Yeah, so it's a big play. I mean, you pick up the ball, possession of the ball, and you got shots. That's a big momentum changer.
One more for Ames, who already has 12 points in the ball game. He is now 5 for 6 from the line this year.
Well, what's significant, Roxy, is Cal's got 18 points from the 3-point line. And how do they get those? Cal's got 10 assists. Now, you and I both know there were games last year where they had 1, 2, and maybe 3 assists at half. They've got 10, and we've got 5 minutes still left to play.
12 made field goals.
Yeah, and so that's a big change from a year ago. Mark Madsen and staff really made a concerted effort to improve that.
And in the first 2 games, the bulk of their scoring came from either in the lane or at the foul line. Completely different tonight.
No, and I think you welcome the shot. You want to see your shot start to fall because they have some good shooters.
Justin Pippen in and out on the 3. Lee Dort up over everybody and slams it home. First points for Dort.
Now Fullerton has no answer for Lee Dort when he goes up like that. He's big, strong, and he's aggressive.
Largest lead for Cal. And it's Seaman inside. And a quick move to the basket. He's got 8 to lead the Titans.
I love that move against Cal because Cal gets out high and hard on their hedges, and he slipped that. He didn't set the ball screen. He slipped it, was wide open at the basket.
Shot clock approaching 10. Here's Ames. A pull-up jumper. And kept alive by Camden on the back tap. Justin Pippen. Good defense by Bryce Cofield right there. Dai Dai Ames surveys the floor.
He likes this matchup up top.
He drives. Pippen along the baseline. And a foul as Dort is grabbed underneath by Bailey Nunn.
You like Lee Dort, Roxy. He's tough. He can go up and keep the ball alive. He's big, he's strong. Hard to keep him off, but if you're Fullerton, I love the big fella. See?
Henry Vasar, the former Arizona Wildcat, had transferred to North Carolina in a big game. John Camden, a tough step back. And from the weak side, kept alive on the glass by Pippen, and Lee Dort is mugged going back up.
Well, that's Cal's strength on the glass, Roxy. They got a couple of looks and kept the ball alive. You know, it's interesting, though. You talk about paint scores and paint touches. It's actually Cal State Fullerton who's got 18 points in the paint, almost doubling up Cal inside, who's only got 10. Usually it's been the other way around for opponents this year.
Foul on KJ Garris of Cal State Fullerton. Lee Dort at the line. Transfer from Vanderbilt, the senior, 7 of 10 for the Stripes so far this year. And one more for Dort. But you mentioned the presence inside that the Titans have had. And what Cal has done the last 2 games, each of the first 2 games, Cal made a total of 5 threes. They've made 6 here in the first half tonight.
Well, when that happens, sometimes your inside game kind of goes away because you're knocking down shots. But it'll be interesting to see how things progress as the game goes on.
Garris, too strong on the 3, and the rebound pulled down by Nolan Dorsey for the Bears. And a push as Chris Bell went into Joshua Ward, but a push is called on Bryce Cofield of Cal State Fullerton. Chris Bell kind of sold that one a little bit.
I think so. I like what he did.
Second foul on Cofield. And it's Chris Bell at the line for California, the 17th foul. A 1-and-1 now for the Bears.
Here we go. 1-on-1, guy.
You know, selling is really important. If you're going to take a charge, fall. And act like you really got mugged. And, I think that's important.
One more for Bell. 3 points for Bell, who's now 9 for 10 from the line this year.
Roxy, I remember Leon Poe. I could never get him to fall down when he took a charge. He was so strong. So just fall one time, and he wouldn't. So he never got the charge.
Was it a pride thing with Leo?
I don't know, but he usually was going to block the shot anyways. But I finally got him to take a charge, but he wouldn't fall. Never could fall. Did other things well, I'll give you that.
Largest lead for Cal. And the rebound. Lee Dort took it away from his teammate, John Camden.
Now, Cal's done a good job. If if one and done, if you take a 3 on them, they go out and they secure the defensive glass. They got guys that are really pulling down rebounds.
Camden steps back. And the rebound grabbed by KJ Garris. Pass deflected right back to the Titans. Joshua Ward. Here is Garris. Leans in. Left it short. And the rebound, Dai Dai Ames for Cal.
Now, Fullerton's trying to get to the rim. Not easy to do against Cal.
Dai Dai Ames finds Chris Bell. Short on the 3, and the rebound, Joshua Ward. Final 1:45 of the half. A nice move in the open floor, get to the basket, and a foul as Josh Ward was decked.
Well, you see what Fullerton can do in transition. I mean, they really come down with numbers. They felt they could exploit Cal here, Roxy, and they are getting down the floor and scoring. Transition defense, really important early in the year. Your job is to get down with numbers. You got to get down with more. And easier said than done because the ball is either getting pushed by the pass or the drill or the drive.
Second foul on Lee Dort as the free throw rattles out for Joshua Ward. And Dort will sit with the 2 fouls as Milos Ilic comes back for California.
Yeah, good news for Cal. Dort gets 2. You don't have to leave him in to get a 3rd. They've got some guys that can step up and relieve him and play big down low.
Ward goes 1 for 2. He leads, Landon Seaman leads Cal State Fullerton with 8. Ward has 7. And Dai Dai Ames leads all scorers for Cal with 13.
Well, if you're Fullerton, you'd love to get this thing down to single digits before half, or at least trim it. And they've got to do a better job defensively. Cal's been really good. They're in a little bit of a matchup zone right now. They're going to switch out. Now they're going back.
Forcing the pass, deflected a steal. 3-on-2 for the Titans. Jaden Henderson attacks. Picked up by Landon Seaman. Inside, count it, and 1.
Oh, how did he find that? I mean, that ball was bouncing around. Watch the hands. I mean, the hands of Seaman on this play. He just goes out and keeps it alive, gathers it, scores it, and draws a foul. Great play by Landon Seaman to finish that. Here's that drive we were talking about. They can cut this thing almost to single digits here with another stop.
First on Dai Dai Ames. The and 1 free throw, and Seaman left it short. And the hustle from KJ Garris keeps it alive for the Titans. Here's a 3. And missing everything was Jefferson De La Cruz Monegro. And it goes out of bounds to California.
Well, Cal's fortunate because that's usually a pretty good look for 3. He's trying to measure his shot now, go through the motions, but that would have knocked this thing down to single digits with the miss. Now you see Fullerton going back now, matching up in the zone again. This defense caused a turnover against Cal.
Offensive rebound, Milos Ilic underneath, powers his way back up, +1.
Yeah, nothing fancy there, Roxy. You just simply get the ball to the rim and you just use your size and strength. Shot by Bell. Look at the offensive rebound and putback here. Draws the foul and the finish.
First on Jaden Henderson. And the first trip to the foul line is a Cal Bear for Milos Ilic.
Nice luxury if you're Mark Madsen, be able to go to your bench and bring this big fella off the bench to expel Lee Dort.
Transfer from Loyola of Maryland gets the roll. The native of Serbia. And the lead back out to 15, matching the largest. In the lane, across the key. And a wild shot for Jefferson De La Cruz Monegro. Cal can play for the last shot of the half.
Mark Madsen jumped up on that last play. One shot, fellas. One shot, and they can really get some momentum going to halftime. They've already built this 15-point lead up. Another basket would be a little bit of a backbreaker.
Dai Dai Ames out top. Tough fall away shot, and the rebound KJ Garris, and that'll that'll take us to halftime. 42-27 Cal at the half, as the Golden Bears led by 13 from Ames, John Camden with 11, and then Cal defensively holding Fullerton to 1 for 14 from 3.
Now, great defense. You know, when you play defense like that, Roxy, it can overcome some mistakes or maybe a cold shooting night. And so the Bears are showing you their ability to get that lead. They lead by 15 going to half.
42-27 California. Coming up, our halftime report, but a strong first half for the Golden Bears in Berkeley tonight against Cal State Fullerton.
Well, Leon Wood,
NBA champion.
Leon Wood went on to be a pretty darn good official.
Yeah, in the NBA.
So you know, really, it's great to see. There's been some tradition there, and the school's still thriving. So it's nice to see.
And they have a great coach in Dedrick Taylor. Look, I'm biased because he's been a friend for a long time, and I've known Dedrick, a huge fan of his. Played at UC Davis. Then spent a lot of years as an assistant, number of stops, Arizona State with Herb Sendek, Nevada, Davis, and now in his 13th season, the all-time winningest coach in Fullerton history. And a good play coming out of halftime, and it's a 3 for Davis White.
Big-time basket. You know, you mentioned how good of friends you are with Dedrick. Now I'm wondering how Arizona State got all their plays. You got to watch out here, Rox. I mean, now Dedrick's a good guy. I remember coaching against Arizona State. He was a big part of their success.
Played for Bob Williams at UC Davis. And the rebound pulled out Joshua Ward. And a good start to the second half for Cal State Fullerton. Ward can't get the roll to 3, and here comes Justin Pippen back the other way countering. Attacks, Pippen to the basket, lays it in.
And that's what Justin Pippen does. He gets by you and can finish at the basket.
Joshua Ward, heel the rim, rebound John Camden, Cal running. Here's Pippen again in transition. Falling down, and Cal State Fullerton brings it back. Jefferson De La Cruz Monegro, and a goaltend against Lee Dort. Give the hoop to Jefferson De La Cruz Monegro.
Well, here's a call. Got Lee Dort that's just hovering around the basket. Shot goes up, and he goes way above the rim, but Justin Pippen got all the way to the basket, was trying to draw the foul, used his right hand, maybe uses his left, and he might get the foul call, I don't know, but he's so good to the basket. He's quick, he's agile, and he's pretty strong.
John Camden fires. Short on the 3, Joshua Ward the rebound for the Titans. Transition, Davis White at the arc, and a good look, and the rebound Chris Bell for Cal.
Fullerton's pretty cold from the perimeter now. They came out, hit their first one, and now missed 3 straight.
2 for 18 from 3 tonight.
And not characteristic of the way they can shoot the ball.
And that's an improved aspect for Cal, is defending the 3, which was a nightmare for Mark Madsen last year. Dort and a reach-in foul committed by Cal State Fullerton. But last year, there's just over 360 Division I college basketball teams. Cal ranked 356th in the country at defending the 3 last year. The opponents hit 37.6% from three-point range against Cal, as Chris Bell missing a 3, and Bailey Nunn brings it up for the Titans. The first 2 games, the opposition shooting 23% from 3 against Cal, and Fullerton's just 2 for 18 tonight. Nice move in the reverse and the baseline. Jefferson De La Cruz Monegro.
Well, you mentioned something, Roxy, and Mark Madsen spoke to this. I mean, he said, look, we overhelped last year. We didn't stay home. We didn't really play. And then we leave the ball, help upstream, which you're not supposed to do. And they gave up some 3s. So they're not doing that this year. They're getting a lot of pressure on the ball out top, but they're then helping not from up.
Dai Dai Ames, 3.
Well, he didn't get the memo, but he must think it's now back to his time, because he's shooting the ball with confidence.
The block, Lee Dort. Cal running, here comes Pippen. Camden at the arc. Back-to-back 3s.
They're going to need a timeout, Roxy Fullerton, because Cal's on fire right now.
Largest lead of the night. And Kendrick DeLuna answers for Cal State Fullerton.
Now Cal's playing very confidently from 3. Mark Madsen said this team can shoot. He was right.
Justin Pippen throws it away. Here comes Davis White. DeLuna down the lane, right to the bucket, Kendrick DeLuna.
Yeah, Mark Madsen not happy. They had a nice lead, hit some big-time threes, and they just gave up 2 quick baskets. Mark Madsen, a quick timeout to settle his team down. But how about Cal? How did they get that lead back, Roxy? They're knocking down shots with confidence. I mean, they're blocking shots, they're getting it off the glass, and they're very unselfish in transition. They find people.
ESPN app. 12-point lead for Cal, and Mark Madsen taking a timeout to try to get his guys regrouped.
He didn't wait for that TV timeout, Roxy. As a coach, you've got to do that. Didn't like what he was seeing from his team on defensive transition.
Chris Bell in the corner on a step-back 3. It's the side of the backboard, and the rebound pulled down. Here come the Titans. Foul line jumper, short from Landon Seaman. He had a good look in the rebound count.
Now that'd cut it to 10 if he knocks that shot. It's a pretty easy shot for him.
On the drive, Dai Dai Ames. Chris Bell gets this one to go.
That's confidence, Roxy. He didn't like his last shot, and what did he do? He regrouped and shot it again. That's what good shooters do.
That's shooters. Next one's going down.
Now you got to believe that.
Ball fumbled away by the Titans, recovered by Landon Seaman. Up and under. And a pretty move by Landon Seaman, who leads Cal State Fullerton with 12.
And that's twice he's just come up with loose balls, the scramble, and the finish. Big-time finish by Landon Seaman.
Veteran play. He was first team all Pac West at Menlo College, playing for the Oaks last year. And Dai Dai Ames has the crossover and the pull-up jumper blocked by Joshua Ward. Ward to the basket. Ward lays it in.
Well, won't look now, but Fullerton hanging around, Roxy. They're just really doing what they can to get in this game, hoping to get a single-digit lead, maybe a 2 or 3 possession game back.
Down to 11. Dai Dai Ames spinning, off balance. Lee Dort on the offensive glass.
That's a luxury when you can miss a shot and you got Lee Dort cleaning it up for you.
Landon Seaman. Vacaville native, a lot of family and friends here. Is a 3 missed, but a foul as Seaman got knocked down and will stay at this.
He knows how to drain it. Great job by Cal. Mark Madsen really opening up the floor for his team this year. That's great defense.
Way into the backcourt, run down by Jaden Henderson. The Titans, though, are 7 of 13 from the floor since halftime.
They got a short clock. They got to get something up before the clock goes out.
Jaden Henderson, I don't think that's what he intended to do.
Well, they only had 4 seconds left, but I agree, Roxy. You know, sometimes that clock, you got to know that coming out of the timeout and coming out really this way, and they just didn't recognize it. By the time they did, too late. Here's Fullerton back in the zone. They had some success with this earlier.
Knocked away from Chris Bell, and it's off of Bell.
Yeah, I thought he knocked it out. Other one right through his legs. Off his hands through his legs. The zone's given Cal a little bit of a problem the last 2 or 3 possessions. Just a little bit of a wrinkle, Roxy, and it's, you know, it's counterintuitive. You think, well, why do you want to zone a team that's shooting it? But makes other guys handle it. Cal's a team that really shoots well off of the rhythm bounce.
Jaden Henderson spinning in the key. And kept alive by Fullerton.
Good defense by Cal.
And that's an offensive foul off the ball as Davis White knocked Rytis Petraitis to the deck.
Well, no surprise if you know Rytis Petraitis. He finds ways to get possessions back for his team. And he got hit, he sold it. We're going the other way. Rytis Petraitis.
Nice pass by Petraitis. Reverse. Nolan Dorsey's first points of the night.
Again, Rytis Petraitis making plays for his team to find Dorsey for the 2.
Transfer from Campbell.
They got a mismatch if they can find it on top.
Shot clock at 10. Jaden Henderson. The finger roll off the window.
Yeah, they scored that late on the clock. That's a big-time take. Cal playing pretty good defense.
Henderson, who had 25 in the opener against Cal Tech, who played last year at Concordia University Division II down in Irvine. Dai Dai Ames in the corner. 3!
Roxy, he's lethal. I mean, he's showing you his ability to carve up defenses, whether by the dribble or by the dagger. I mean, that's from deep, coffin corner.
10 threes for Cal. They had a combined 10 in the first 2 games. And the largest lead of the night equaled by Cal. And a foul has landed Seaman on the offensive glass. And the question is, will they call it a controlled tip, or is it just a common foul against Cal?
Meanwhile, you got Dai Dai Ames, Roxy. He's a man of the hour. Cal's doing a good job. They're finding their sharpshooter in the corner, and he knows.
Gone before us.
Anwar McQueen, Roxy, talking about alums. What a illustrious alumni in Anwar McQueen. A winner, 2 NCAA tournaments, Sweet 16. Gotta love that Anwar's here. And, you know, he's just one of the all-time greats at Cal.
He's on your first team here at Cal that went to the Sweet 16.
Tough kid, Roxy, played great defense. Just did a lot of things, smart player.
Rytis Petraitis down the lane to the bucket and couldn't get the shot to go, and here come the Titans. Davis White. Deflected. Dived in for the loose ball. Nolan Dorsey out of bounds off the Titans. I think Nolan Dorsey's fired up, Ben.
Well, he's a great player. Mark Manson loves this action. I mean, that's what Nolan Dorsey does, Roxy. He may be that toughest player on the Cal team, and they got a lot of tough guys. I mean, but Rytis Petraitis, take your pick. You got those guys playing on your team. You got to love it.
Gets the possession for the Bears. Here's Ames. Justin Pippen. Fouled. Will get 2 shots as he got Davis White in the air.
That's just a smart play, heads-up play by Justin Pippen. He's, you know, you're the son of an NBA player and a legend. He knows how to play. He probably had to do that to get shots off against his dad, because you're not going to score much on Scottie Pippen. But Justin showing
his brother.
Or his brother, and Justin showing you the ability, Roxy. He can get to the line. But you know, I want to go back just for a second. I really like that Mark Madsen has done and made it open for their alumni to come back. I agree with him. It's so important to bring your alumni back, and he understands that. And he's a former alumni at Stanford, and I think Mike Montgomery and his
former
players.
alumni, or just an
alumni, but he's a former player at Stanford.
There you go.
Yeah, well, you know, he's been a nightmare for me through my coaching career, but I love that he recognizes that you go back and you bring your players back.
Landon Seaman the miss, and the rebound, Milos Ilic.
Yeah, you can't be a former alumni. If you are, you aren't.
Pippen.
Well, he got
and a
fouled.
block,
Yeah,
and he'll get to the line.
Yeah, he got
the
fouled.
third on Davis White.
And the officials did a good job. They kind of want to see if that was going to go down. If it did, maybe don't call a foul. That's an NBA kind of call, but that was contact. There's no question that was contact, and that's what Justin Pippen does. I mean, he's so heady. He and Dai Dai Ames give you the ability when your shot clock is winding down or when you're in the open floor, they can get shots for themselves. And if you guard 2 guys on them, they're going to find somebody.
One more for Pippen, who had a good all-around game last Thursday against Wright State. Was a tough opponent for Cal.
Yeah,
Pippen at 14 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists in that game.
Well, he's very unselfish. He could do a lot more scoring if he needed to, but what he does, He just gets his team in the flow. I admire players that do that. When they need him to score, he will.
10 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists tonight for Pippen. And Cal has ballooned the lead to 20. And it's fumbled out of bounds by Cal State Fullerton.
Yeah, Cal is speeding up Cal State Fullerton.
No, they're saying it stays at this end, and Mark Matson's going to challenge it. So we have our first Mark Matson challenge.
Well, this was a la the NBA, Roxy, because the NBA does this. The players on the court who are closer to the action will dictate to the coach and the staff, hey, coach, you need to challenge us. We're right here. We saw this. And you better be right, by the way.
And Nolan Dorsey knew he never touched it.
The previous play has been challenged by Cal.
Yeah.
So the new rule in college basketball, you must have a timeout.
Yes.
And you're allowed 1 challenge per game. If you get it right, you keep the challenge. If you're wrong, you lose it. But you're charged a timeout.
Well, also, you're 20 points up. It might be a good time to gamble on something. But I don't think this was a gamble, Rox. It looked pretty serious. But that's the new rule. And so you do get penalized if you don't get it. But I think the Cal Bears were right there. There's the play. He was nowhere near the ball. I mean,
yeah,
so
Jefferson De La Cruz Monegro just lost it out of bounds.
No, and even Fullerton knew that they lost it because they were going the other way. He knew it. He put his head down.
The call on the floor has been overturned.
Yeah. We got 5 judges on the team there.
That's a correct challenge for Cal, and they will retain their timeout and have 1 challenge remaining.
No, NBA's got the monitors on the bench. They can replay it and find out. You don't have that luxury here.
And your challenge has to be instantaneous.
Yeah, but they had all 5 guys for Cal saying, hey, with the circling of the hand, let's challenge that coach. And Mark Manson trusted his players, and he was rewarded.
So it goes over to Cal. Successful challenge. Mark Madsen now 1 for 1.
Now, and Cal's had a good second half. They've stepped it up now in the last few minutes. They've really turned it up. And by the way, they've done that since Mark Madsen called that emotional, angry timeout. Coaches get angry sometimes. And he was hot.
Milos Ilic slides into the basket. And 1 for Ilic.
Roxy, there's the assists going again. Cal finding each other. I mean, they do such a good job. Look at that left-hand wheel pass by Ames. I mean, he just wrapped it around his defender inside to Ilic, who just finishes, waits, poise, gets the foul and the call. I mean, their assist total is exploding so far compared to a year ago.
10-0 run for Cal as Milos Ilic with 6.
And he's got a fan club right behind us.
He could score at Loyola Maryland. He put up 28 in the game playing for Loyola Maryland, I should say. The second team All-Patriot performer there, and a foul on Cal.
Well, let's be honest, Roxy. Cal's brought in a ton of newcomers, 9 or 10, but guess what they have? They may be newcomers, but they have guys that have played college ball. Virginia, Delaware, Vanderbilt, Campbell, Loyola Maryland, I mean, Air Force. Those guys aren't strangers to this game. They are veterans.
Way to use approaching veterans there.
Yeah.
Nice job, Dan.
Oh, I knew that.
Dedrick Taylor also has brought in 7 transfers. That's 7 freshmen, 14 new players on his roster, and the transfer Landon Seaman leads them with 14.
Yeah, I love Landon Seaman and what he can do. He's a load. He's tough.
And now an offensive foul on Cal, and it's a push-off on Justin Pippen, his 3rd.
Yeah, that's the right call. No argument from Justin. Used it offhand, but Landon Seaman has done some really good things this game. And if you're Fullerton, you can build on what he's done. I mean, he's just gone over the top of people. He's secured about 2 or 3 loose balls, scrambles. He's very headsy. He hasn't knocked down the shot, which he can do, but he's a guy that you can run offense through.
He is 2nd in Menlo College history in scoring. After a successful run down there, the 3-way off from Christian Williams. Lee Dort fouled by Landon Seaman.
Well, Lee Dort didn't hesitate, Roxy. He said, I'm getting to the rim. You're not stopping me. And they had to with the foul.
Actually, they called a foul on Jefferson De La Cruz Monegro. And the 2nd on the native of LaSalle, Quebec.
Well, here's
and
the good
2 shots for Dort.
And here's the good news about Cal. You know, they were shooting just a blistering pace to start the game. Cooled off a little bit, but if their shot's not falling, Roxy, Cal's shown you their ability to do two things. One, post up, get it on the block and score, or take it off the dribble and draw fouls to the basket. And they've done that every game this year.
Lee Dort hits both. Cal knocking down their free throws tonight. They are 15 of 17 to the line, have made all 7 here in the second half.
Yeah, it's one thing to get there, it's another to knock them down, and they're doing it.
Too strong on the 3 from Jefferson De La Cruz Monegro. Pippen. Step back, Dai Dai Ames. 3!
Roxy, stop it, stop it. That's just really a filthy step back, drain it in your face shot by Dai Dai.
15-2 run for Cal, the block shot, Ritas Petrides. Dorsey had a good look at the 3. Ritas Petrides in the offensive glass. Pippen down the lane. And a foul will get Justin Pippen to the line.
Now, Dai Dai Ames, Roxy, I mean, he's a problem. If you're playing on the opposing team, he gets you on skates, he pulls it back and says, where are you going? I'm about to put 3 right here. Look at this step back, a la Harden. That's a hard move right there. Somebody we know about that used to come in here and put some points up on the board.
Deidre Taylor coached him at Arizona.
Absolutely, and that's why I mentioned it. I mean, holy smoke, did he have a game even back in college. But Dai Dai Ames is showing you something, Roxy, and I'm impressed with his game because he plays at different speeds. He doesn't play the same speed, getting a much-deserved rest right now. Cal's depth has been impressive thus far this season. And we're talking about they're still missing guys.
Pippen goes 1 for 2. He's got 11. There's still no DeJuan Campbell.
Yeah.
Dimitri Carr is still out. Hoping to get them back any day now. And they could use some depth in the backcourt heading to Manhattan, Kansas, taking on Kansas State later this week in the Little Apple.
Well,
first on Nolan Dorsey.
Yeah, that's going to be a test, but you don't worry about that game, Roxy. You get these games under your belt. You build some momentum. 3 games under your belt, that's going to help you.
And Jerome Tang has a very talented team at Kansas State.
No, there's no question, but you want to bring your habits and your confidence in, and I think Cal has done that. They've built up confidence. They've built their defense up, and they're a team that's not going to depend on one guy as they did a little bit last year with some really solid scores. Mark Manson has said this in his preseason media day. He's talked to us at practice. He just likes, in his coaching staff, their balance.
One more for Bryce Cofield. Won a state title last year at Sierra Canyon. And it rattles out. Lee Dort pulls it down. It's been a rough second half and a rough run recently for the Titans. 16-2 run for Cal. Fouled, and Pippen will head back to the free throw line.
How about the presence of mind by Justin Pippen? That was, again, a pro move. As soon as he anticipates contact, he makes no mistake. He's up. Look at that. He takes the dribble and starts going up, knowing that now the new rule is that you're gathering in motion. They're giving you that shot, so he takes advantage of it.
4th on Bryce Cofield.
Heady move.
And it rolls in for Justin Pippen.
I'm down here. Two, excuse me, two.
3 Bears in double figures. Ames 22, Camden 14. And Pippen will have one more shot. He's got 13 now.
Now very comfortable at the line. Not only Justin Pippen, but Cal Bears are really feeling it there. Just shooting with great efficiency.
And a 30-point lead for California.
Yeah, that happened fast, Roxy. It was only a 15-point lead just a while ago. Actually, almost a 10-point, 11-point lead not too long ago.
9 straight and a 19-2 run to open this 30-point lead. Last touch by John Camden. It'll stay with Cal State Fullerton. 7:45 to go, and Cal running away for the Titans.
You like Dai Dai Ames, Roxy? You gotta like what he's done. I mean, he gets you there. Wait, now you see me, now you don't. I'm gonna step back.
Held off. Lon Kruger is fighting Illini. You saw the line, 34 for Kawan Garris, who went 17 for 17 for the line. Ed Gray at 30 in truly just a phenomenal night of basketball in Harmon James.
Yeah, I think whoever had the ball last was going to win that game, Roxy. It was a tremendous game. There's shot clock violation, but I do remember that game. I said, I don't know how we're going to stop Garris, and he was that good.
You didn't.
No, and we talked to his son, who said, I don't know if I should believe this. I said, it happened. I was here.
And I gave him the box score from that game as you look at the game summary for our game tonight.
Yeah.
And right now, Cal on a 19-2 run to push the lead out to 30.
Well, now that was one of the all-time great games played in this gyms.
And that was a team that you guided to the Sweet 16. And that Illinois team went to the second round of the NCAA tournament. They beat USC in the first round before the Illini were stunned by Chattanooga. Deep three from Pippen. And the rebound, and Bailey Nunn watched it sail into the bench.
Now, that was an outstanding team, but Lon Kruger, great coach. But
Jerry Hester was on that.
No, they were talented. Ed Gray, I remember. Sean Marks had a tremendous game for us.
Michael Stewart had a good game.
Yeah, we needed everybody because that thing was going down to the wire and went into 2 overtimes.
89-88 as a foul off the ball on Fullerton.
Well, you know, it's interesting, Roxy. It's so great now to see some of the players that we coached against and I coached against, and now their sons who are playing. And great young man, by the way. If Kiwan's watching us play, I mean, your son's a great kid, but you gotta sell him now. He didn't believe that happened.
He didn't believe it. No, we're telling him.
No, I said, listen,
we're raving about Kiwan.
Believe it. Your dad was the real deal.
And his mom's the real deal also. She's a tremendous singer.
Absolutely.
R&B is a lob over the top of John Camden, who has 16. KJ Garris' mom, Selena Johnson.
Yeah, they're from, I think, Thornton, back in Illinois. We used to play some of their teams back when I went to high school. I mean, just a great area. Great story.
Kendrick DeLuna up and under. Missed at the rim. Last touch by Cal. And we'll stay at this end with Titans basketball.
Let's talk about Justin Pippen, Roxy, and what he's been able to do. I mean, he's so good with the basketball, but he finds guys. He's really unselfish. He could have drove the ball and scored. Instead, he feeds John Camden for an easy one.
And that's a foul on Chris Bell.
And that's the kind of play they're going to have, Roxy. You're going to get on the road in a minute, and you're going to go play a tough team, hostile environment, you know, really well-coached team with talent. And now you're going to have to rely on your unselfishness and your team play to come back with a W.
Off the inbound, well-designed play, and a 3 for Joshua Ward.
Yeah, big-time play. Joshua Ward's shown you some things today. He's, you know, you get the feeling that if Fullerton can shoot the ball a little better, which they will as the year goes on, they're going to be tough team to play against.
John Camden launching. Too strong on the 3, and here come the Titans and Ward.
That was a good challenge.
Garris down the lane. Had it stripped and saved by Pippen, and Cal controls. Chris Bell on the baseline, a pretty move.
But his ability to shoot the 3 set that drive up because you have to guard him at the 3-point line. And he just blew by his defender.
80-49. Strip by Justin Pippen. Knocked away from behind, but Dai Dai Ames recovers. Camden. And Bell on the weak side. And the rebound falls to the shortest guy on the floor, Bailey Nunn, for the Titans who run. And Lee Dort takes a hard fall, and it's cleaned up by Kendrick DeLuna. And Dort awkwardly went down, but appears to be okay.
Now, that was a good block. I'm glad the big fella is up and around because he smacked that ball back.
It's a long way to fall.
Gotta love Justin Pippen and what he's been able to do. But look at that, here it is. There's that hands for Pippen, keeping the ball alive. Giving Cal Bears yet another possession in transition, but look, he just got quick hands. I mean, That's tough to play against. Arena in that town, it's not an easy trip. So Cal's going to have to, continue their winning ways, their winning attitude, their chemistry, but their unselfishness has really been a trademark of this team, and they're a much improved defensive team as well.
Here's Chris Bell, up 1 foot, got his own miss, and put it back in. Double figures for Bell now with 11.
Yeah, he's mad at himself for missing the first one, but you know what? Then he just goes out and he plays. But here's the lineup. Here's coming up, Roxy, for the Cal Bears.
Cal State Fullerton goes inside, and Landon Seaman with 16.
Yeah, Cal's got some teams on their schedule coming up.
Pippen throws up a wild shot looking for a call. And here comes Bailey Nunn for the Titans. And the Aussie. Here's Seaman at the top, and he rattles in a 3.
Well, you knew he could hit that shot. He had not knocked that shot down, but he can do that. And when he starts doing that for his team, he gives his team a lift. Makes it a lot tougher to defend.
Dai Dai Ames with the weave out top, had it stripped, and it's off of Bailey Nunn, and it belongs to California. Final 3:32, and Cal with a terrific offensive performance tonight. With Virginia, he had 27 against Pitt. In the second half, Cal is led by as many as 31, or rather 32 tonight. And right now the lead 26.
Well, they're going to keep their starters in just a little bit longer. I think they want to, keep that rhythm. They want guys to play together because they're going to need to be able to keep that chemistry going. So but you'll end up seeing the bench emptied in a minute. But they're going to continue to play for a short period.
And a timeout in danger of a 5-second call, and a 30 taken by Cal. 30-second timeout to keep the possession. Mark Madsen and Cal and Golden Bears won handily against Bakersfield. Were tested in game 2 by Wright State. Pesky team out of the Horizon League. The Raiders hung in there with Cal before finally Cal put him away. And tonight, a Fullerton team, look, Keith Taylor's trying to figure out what he's got. He's got 14 new players, only 1 player back from the year ago. And they won handily against an overmatched team in their opener at Caltech. Yeah. But then they went to Laramie, Wyoming, and they played well against a solid team in Wyoming, and maybe hit a wall at the end when you're playing at over 7,000 feet altitude.
Yeah, and again, he's got some new guys. His system will take over. But let's be honest, they're playing against Cal now, and Cal's playing well. This is a good Cal team that's playing improved defense. They've got balance. They've got parity on their team where they've got different scores and they've got size. And so this is a different level. It's a step up for Fullerton to play here, Cal, in their home gym where they've had success and against this group. These are veteran players, Rocky. We talk about Cal's newcomers. They're not freshmen. These are veteran guys.
One more for Chris Bell. And Cal, who has knocked him down for the line again tonight. And the Golden Bears, 21 of 24 for the strike.
Yeah, every player on the floor for Cal now has previous college experience. That's pretty impressive.
Corner 3, too strong from Joshua Ward. Kept alive. Here is Jefferson De La Cruz Monegro, and he's off on the 3, and it just will not fall for the Titans tonight. They are 4 for 26 from 3. Dai Dai Ames up the floor. Ames fouled, will shoot 2. And again, that's part of the new rule, the continuation, the freedom of movement in college basketball, where last year that may have been a foul on the floor, where no opportunity for an and one. He missed the shot. He'll still get 2 free throws, but one of the changes to the rules in college basketball.
Well, and that's going to help Cal because they've got a couple of guys that can take that rule and really, I'm going to say abuse it if they have to. They're going to take advantage of it, and they're going to get there to the line pretty much at will. It's hard to contain. Hardest thing in college basketball, contain the ball one-on-one. If you give these guards at Cal one-on-one capabilities with no help, these guys will get to the rim and draw fouls.
One more for Ames. And a young season high for Dai Dai Ames. And there's Ames called for the foul. That is the 7th and a 1-and-1 for Bailey Nunn. Nunn, a transfer from Sacramento State, played 2 years there. Last year he led the Hornets in assists and the Aussie. As Deidre Taylor brought him in to be a leader on the floor for Cal State Fullerton. And one more for Nunn.
Well, this game will help Fullerton. Rox, you're playing against a Cal, and I say a veteran team because they are. And this game will end up helping you. You've got to get tested early, find out a little bit about your team, and you know, what did they do well and what are the things they need to improve on. So I think you play these games and you don't look at the score, you look at your experience.
They had a rough year last year at Cal State Fullerton, but Deidre Taylor won 20+ in 2 of the previous 3 years. And again, 2 NCAA tournaments for Deidre at Cal State Fullerton, which is not an easy place these days because of the way the landscape is set up in college sports to have some success. And Deidre Taylor has had some success.
Yeah, and you know what I commend is that you stay with coaches that have done that. You don't wait till they've had 1 year, bad year maybe, and now we're going to make a change. I think coaches don't get dumb overnight, Roxy, and he's a guy that's smart. He's shown you the ability to build his team, and he'll do it again.
Chris Bell, shot clock winding down, and Bell will get to the line.
And there's another guy, Roxy, we haven't talked enough about Chris Bell. You're 6'7", you can knock down threes proficiently, so you've got to get out to Chris Bell, but he's got the ability to sweep you and drive. I mean, he's quick. Look at the step. He gathers, he goes through, and he draws the foul. I mean, he's rangy. He's a very clever player. Local product, right down the road.
3 years at De La Salle, finished up high school ball at Wasatch Academy in Utah. And then 3 years at Syracuse for Chris Bell. Coming back home, Concord native. One more, his first appearance tonight for Montas Kachanis. The sophomore from Lithuania, the transfer from FAU.
Another veteran.
And it rolls in for Bell. Back to a 30-point game. His pass inside. Reverse, and Landon Seaman will go to the free throw line.
Here we go.
Cal State Fullerton, they'll be at home Saturday at Pacific. And one of your former players, Shante Leggins, the head coach at Portland. They're involved in a tournament, also plays St. Thomas in Northern Colorado, and Pepperdine. Orange and blue against orange and blue.
Yeah, that's good. Somebody's got to go down. Now, it's you know, you look around, Roxy, and you look at the WCC and the Big West. There's some.
Santa Clara had a huge win at Xavier today.
I'm just going to say, I mean, these leagues are getting tougher and tougher. I mean, they really are. We had Big Sky the other day, two teams there. I mean, they're getting better and better. Every team, every league.
One of those secret closed-door scrimmages. Cal played Santa Clara and won down at Santa Clara. Secret? Not anymore.
Yeah.
The block by Pippen. And he was out of bounds. It goes right back to the Titans.
Yeah, here it is. I mean, gets the rim and wow.
So minute 47 to go, and Mark Mattson hasn't emptied the bench.
No, it's a little concerning because I always worried late game, Roxy. You're up 30 and you don't want anything to happen to your starters. I think maybe in this, here they come. He must have heard you. I think there's the whispers, or somebody was called. And they might even take a timeout here. Let's see.
And delay in the first points tonight for Montas Kochinas.
Yeah, they might take a timeout from the other way. Let's see.
And Pippen the rebound.
Gary says slow it down. And they're going to just walk it.
Kochinis left it behind. Drop step and the lay-in. (92-59). And then Kochinis the rebound.
Yeah, here's a timeout. Here's a timeout. That's smart play. Get these guys in because they wouldn't get in. But
and Mark Madsen will get some subs. Diakwe, Moniel Du checking in. B.J. Fisher coming in. And the same Luke Butler.
Kochanis
makes the appearance.
Inside. Well, they still got some guys on the floor, Roxy, that are still formidable players.
And a foul, and Davis White is fouled out. And Cal will go back to the line, and it's Rytis Petraitis.
Well, I just got word, not that it's a surprise, Roxy, that Dai Dai Ames will be joining us for a post-game interview. Great to talk to him after another tremendous performance.
And the first one knocked down by Petraitis, who has 5 tonight.
I always thought you announced that players are coming over because I think people want to hear from players too, not just you and me.
A rebound grab by Ben Winker in the game, the freshman from St. Louis. Here is Garris. Open, and a 3 for KJ Garris.
Well, Garris hitting a shot in this gym, we've seen that.
You didn't defend him either.
No, wait a minute, I'm at the booth here. Don't put this one on me. And I wasn't in charge of the defense that game.
It don't work like that.
Yeah, that's who was.
And, oh, the miss inside from Luke Butler. Speaking of
David Butler.
dads who had success on the floor here in Berkeley. Dad Dave Butler, standing out the mid to late 80s at Cal. With Kevin Johnson here is Garris, back-to-back threes.
All right, Dad better be watching. Oh, Cal, big win, Roxy. That's an impressive performance. If you're a Cal Bear fan, player, or coach, you got to like their effort. And we'll get a chance to talk to Dai Dai Ames, who had a lot to do with tonight's victory.
Season high 93 points for California as the Golden Bears hitting 11 threes. And Dai Dai Ames, 24 points, 3 assists.